Hi students, good evening. Welcome you all for the rapid revision, the next session which is on structural organization in animals. So we saw the basic structural organization in plants a few sessions back. So this is going to be a more lively and an interesting session which is on structural organization in animals. So here from examination perspective, the questions from animal tissues, or they can even put forth from certain basic animals like frog or cockroach. From that the questions can be put forth in the examination. So they are most important, plus the weightage of this chapter is also more when it comes to our NEET exam. So we are going to do another next 1 hour with a very nice interactive, informative, a rapid quick revision on the next 30 questions of the structural organization in animals. Okay students, so we will start the session. So here we are going to see another very interesting and what you call the most interesting thing here. 1 minute. Yeah. So the first thing, like, we will start it with the question, right? So the most interesting part of the questions here when it comes to structural organization in animals, like here about the basic tissues are being discussed here, and apart from that, like we have other nice interesting sessions in this where we discuss about the basic what you call the histology and other things that is very important. Okay, so with this I'll just start the first question. So which one of the following, okay, which one of the following is actually, which one of the following statement is true? So just 1 minute. Yeah. So which one of the following statements is true for cockroach? The number of ovarioles in each ovary are 10. The larval stage is called caterpillar. The anal styles are absent in females. They are urotelic. So I am waiting for your answers. So please do post it. So what should be your answer? Yes, Jivita. Yes, very good, Jivita. Yes, what should be the answer? So here we are seeing which of the following is true. We want to find out the true statement here. So which is the true statement here? So here we will see first this one. The number of ovarioles in each ovary are 10. So when you see ovary, there are pair of ovaries, we are aware in cockroach, right? And they in each ovary, right, they will have around 8 ovarioles, not 10. So it is called the ovarioles, or it is called the ovarian tubules, we say. Okay, so this is regarding it. It is not 10, it is 8. What about the larval stage? What about the larval stage? In the larval stage, they have put it is called caterpillar. But here the larval stage in the cockroach, we call that as the nymph. Okay, so the nymph will be short, colorless, they don't have wings. Okay, but they will be quite looking like the adult only, but after a process of molting or ecdysis, what we say, they will become into a mature adult. Okay, so that is what with it. So the larval stage is called nymph and not caterpillar. Then the anal styles are absent in females. Yes, this is fine, because these anal styles are structures. They are found on the ventral side of abdomen. Okay. Okay, so they will be arising from the 9th sterna. Okay, and another thing, they are nothing like short, slender, okay, unjointed, thread-like outgrowths. Okay, they are thread-like outgrowths that you see. Okay, so mainly what is this meant for? It is meant for the sexual identification, because cockroach is a structure which shows the dimorphism. So how are we going to identify the cockroach, like whether it is a male or a female? So that could be done with the presence of this anal style. So the anal styles are present in the male, whereas it is absent in the females. Yes students, very good. Akshaya, Jeevita, very good. You are giving the right answer. And what about ureotelic? No, all these insects, they are all uricotelic, right? So they are not urico. So what should be your right answer here? Yes, the answer is the anal styles are absent in female. That should be the answer. Okay, so I hope you understood. Very good. So that should be your answer. Excellent students. Very good. We'll go to the next. So the next question here, see, it's very nice and interesting question. Okay, we'll see what is that. Which one of the following types of cell is involved in making of the inner walls of large blood vessels? Cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, squamous epithelium and stratified epithelium. So when you look into this, we see that the answer is quite very clear. And it is straightforward also. It is the simple squamous epithelium, because you see here the cuboidal epithelium, which is a form of simple epithelium. Okay, you find that in the small salivary ducts, and then you see it in the pancreatic ducts, main thyroid vesicles, don't forget children. So there also you find the, and also the nephrons. Okay, the nephrons of kidney. So here and all the main you will see lining of the cuboidal epithelium. What about the columnar epithelium? They are glandular epithelium. Okay, mostly they will be lining what? The stomach. Yes, intestine. Okay, gallbladder, bile duct. So all that, that's why it's called that name, the glandular epithelium. What about the squamous? The squamous epithelium is the one which is going to line, which is called the pavement epithelium, is going to line the inner walls of the blood vessels, the heart, the lymph vessels. So that is why we call that they are lined by the squamous epithelium. Excellent Shreya, Jeevita, Akshaya, very good ma. Because see, this is also called a pavement epithelium. They look like a pavement, and the one that is lining the blood vessel, we call that as the endothelium. See, one thing children, when you are reading a question, from the question itself hundreds of clues and answers you should think of. So what is the probable that the examiner might put forth in the next forthcoming examination? So you have to analyze all the possible view and study. So what is the other name for this? It is called the endothelium. Okay, suppose, okay, and stratified epithelium, we know it is a multi-layered epithelial tissue. So coming to the squamous epithelium, apart from the blood vessel, like the question next exam they can ask like that, where it will be lining. So they will be lining what is called the terminal bronchioles. Yesterday we saw alveoli, yes, the wall of the Bowman's capsule. So those are the other regions. So examination, they can ask question like that, apart from lining the blood vessel, because last time they asked. So this time how the question would be. So this is how your idea or concept of reading and preparing for your exam should be. Okay children, you are able to follow. So now see, the ones that is lining, we call that as the endothelium. Okay, now if it is going to line the coelom, we call that as the mesothelium. Acha. Okay, so this mesothelium and endothelium, if it is wavy, okay, so please children, these are all additional information which we can expect the question. So I wanted you to copy it down just like that. Okay, so what if it is wavy, and we call that as what is called the tessellated. So we have many questions from here. The cuboidal itself can become a main question, or they can ask like what is the other name, or squamous apart from blood vessel, what is the name, or the squamous itself lining the blood vessel, what is the name, endothelium, what does they look like, or they can ask like what is the coelom means, or what is tessellated. So these are the various combinations of questions that can come from the same thing. You are able to follow ma? Shall we move to the next one? Yes. Now coming to the goblet cells. The goblet cells are unicellular exocrine glands of intestine, unicellular endocrine glands of intestine, multicellular exocrine glands of gut, multicellular endocrine glands of gut. I want the answer. Yes, I am waiting for your answer. Okay, so I am just waiting. So when you talk about glands, okay, that has got the capability to secrete, you are going to classify as endocrine and exocrine. Acha? Yes, students, please do post, be more interactive, so it will be more informative, like it will be like an exchange of concepts between you and me, so that we can learn more for the day. Yes, so I am waiting for your answers. Akshaya, Jivita, yes, so what is the answer, ma? Very good. Yes, excellent. Rohan has come. Rohan has come in the full swing. Good, Rohan. Yes, come on. We will see what is it. So here we have glands, exocrine and endocrine glands. So endocrine, we know they are ductless glands. They are going to pour their secretions into the blood. So we are not going to consider any of these, right? So that is not going to be the one. So you are going to find out like whether they are unicellular or multicellular. So what you should know here? Here it is unicellular, acha, and then we have the multicellular. The unicellular exocrine glands, okay, they are isolated glandular cells which will be secreting their secretions by exocytosis, okay, like the goblet cells. But what about the multicellular cells? Okay, they are going to make the multicellular exocrine glands going to make their secretions through a duct, like how we see the salivary ducts, the salivary glands, the pancreatic glands, etc. So they are multicellular. So exocrine, unicellular is goblet. So what are they going to secrete? They are going to secrete the mucus, okay, and that is mostly it is of simple columnar epithelial cell. So they are lined by simple columnar. So they are lined by, yes, Srivatsav, welcome. So simple columnar epithelial cells. Acha? So this is what I wanted you all to know. So what should be your answer? Excellent. I have seen Akshaya, Shreya, Rohan, Jivita, everybody just bombarding with the answers. Yes, it's right. It is the unicellular exocrine glands of the intestine. So this is how you are going to segregate and make your answers. Okay, children. We will move to the next question, ma. Which one of the following is not a connective tissue? I hope you all know the living tissues, right? So which is not a connective tissue? Bone, cartilage, blood, muscles. So among this, which is a very direct, a very basic question. So please children, post your answers. Okay. So we will see the answers. Yes. So what is the answer here? It's a very straightforward. So our living tissues, as we all know, they are classified here into what? The four basic types. We have the connective tissue, the epithelial tissue, the muscle tissue and the nervous tissue. Okay. The connective tissue is again further divided into blood, lymph, bone. So the bone, cartilage, all will be a part of the connective tissue, right? Okay. What about the blood? Blood is also a liquid connective tissue. So the muscle is a one which is not a connective tissue. It's itself a separate living tissue. So the answer is, excellent students, muscle. Muscle is the answer. Okay, very good. Now here comes the next question. Which labeled structure? So unless you know the structure very well, which is there in your NCERT textbook, you will not be able to find the solution for it. Okay, that is why I didn't insist the people what is A, B, C, D, which you are supposed to answer me now. Which labeled structure secretes fibers of matrix? A, B, C and D. Please answer me what is the answer. I am waiting for your answers, children. And yes, please post the answers. Then we will have a very good discussion on this particular labeled diagram which is being given. Yes, what should be the answer? Yes, very good. Okay, so let me go in for what is A, B, C and D. The A is nothing but it is the plasma cell. Acha. the B is the macrophage, the C is the blood vessel, the blood capillary, and D is the fibroblast. Now can you all answer me that what is the answer? Yes, Manjula, Srivatsan, Shreya, I think you are all giving the answer for this question. Yes, excellent students. Very good. The answer is nothing but the D, fibroblast. Very good. So what is this? Actually the fibroblast are what you are seeing, no? The fibroblast, they are big cells, okay? They are going to synthesize the extracellular matrix and the collagen, okay? So that is the structural framework for all our tissues. Very, very important for our wound healing also, okay? Okay, so that is why it is very, very important, fibroblast. Now when you see the connective tissue fibers, actually you have those white fibers which will have the collagen, we will have those yellow fibers which is rich with elastin, then we will have the reticular fibers. These fibroblasts, like they'll be part in this loose and dense connective tissue, you will see them, and apart from that, like you will see those plasma cells, the macrophages, the adipocytes which are fat depositing cells, okay? The adipocytes, what that white one you're seeing, okay? And then we will see the WBCs also. So these are all the one, but which will secrete that underground, the ground substance, that is the extracellular matrix, okay? That is done by your fibroblast. So very good children, the answer is fibroblast, okay? Now here, if you understood the previous diagram, this question is a loophole. Identify the figure with its correct function, okay? We will see what is the function. Areolar connective tissue serves as a support framework for epithelium. Adipose tissue stores fat and acts as a heat insulator. Dense regular tissue provides flexibility. Dense irregular tissue provides strength and elasticity. So here they are given the same picture, but here you are going to match the structure and their function, whether it is given correctly. So what should be your answer, ma? Please post the answers in the chat. Please post your answers in the chat. Yes, very good. Excellent, Rohan. Yes, I could see people coming up with answers. Very good, very good. Yes. So what should be your answer? The answer is nothing but the adipose tissue, because I showed you in the previous one, okay? The previous one, the adipose tissue, right? So you see what are these? They are nothing but the adipose tissue, which is also a type of connective tissue. So they will be immediately underneath our skin, and these cells are the ones which are going to store the fat actually, okay? So what is the purpose of storing the fat? They are going to act like a heat insulator. So this is your right answer. Yes, very good. Lakshmanan, Akshaya, Jivita, Srivatsav, Manjula, everybody are giving the right answer. Very good. See, because children, here you should understand. See, areolar connective tissue is like a packing material. You remember like this, you will not forget in the exam. They are like packing material which is meant for giving that strength and those elasticity like that. And what about the one that we are seeing now? That is the adipose tissue. They are found in the subcutaneous. When I say subcutaneous, it means it is underneath the skin. Subcutaneous, okay? It is a subcutaneous tissue, and it will be found around the heart, kidney or eyeball, okay, wherever the fat is stored. Now you can see this even in the animals, like blubbers we have, no? What is there? It's like this only, the fat that will be stored, okay? So they are actually derived. Now the question, like it can be put forth like that. The adipose tissue is derived from where? It is derived from the fibroblast, okay? So that should be your, whereas the others are not fitting on with their own function. So the answer is what? The adipose tissue, okay? Okay. Now we will go for the next question, the intercalated disc. The intercalated discs are present in striated muscles, unstriated muscles, cardiac muscles, neurons. So what should be the answer here? Intercalated disc. I will give you a very detailed description on this perspective so that you will not forget how to go and match on with the answers. Yes, students, waiting for your answer. Yes, excellent. Rohan, bombarding, started giving the answers. Very good, very good. Yes, others also, please do interact. Yes, it's just a nice, informative and an interactive session. I wanted everybody to actively participate. Yes, now see, we have basically the three type of muscles. We have the muscles, like how the options are given. Let me go in this order. We can say striated, and I can say non-striated or unstriated. When I say striated, I am talking about my skeletal muscle and I am talking about my cardiac muscle. But when I say unstriated, I am talking about my smooth muscle. The neuron is totally a different one which is not into this concern at all. So when I say striated, okay, the skeletal and the cardiac muscle. The skeletal muscle fibers, they'll be very long, thin, cylindrical like this with a tapering end. But what about the cardiac muscle fibers? Like they are muscle fibers where there will be striations and they will be nucleated also, but each fiber they will be joined by what we call it as the intercalated disc. What we call that as the intercalated disc. Your answer is right. So just 1 minute, I just wanted you to show it in the histology diagram. Okay, so just look into here, children. So this is individual the cardiac fiber. So what those things that is being made, it is the intercalated disc. Actually these intercalated disc, no, they will have what are called the gap junctions. Okay, they will be acting like one small low resistant bridge where the action potential or the impulse can easily pass through these junctions, so that it will spread to the entire of the muscle fiber at a time, so that your cardiac muscle will act like a single unit. It is not like one fiber twitching another fiber. They are going to act like a single unit. That is why you see atria contracting, ventricle relaxing, ventricle contracting, atria relaxing. So this is all done by these intercalated discs through the passage of what? The action potential. So the intercalated disc is unique and a distinguishing feature of cardiac muscle. So when you give me a two set of slides, say a skeletal muscle and a cardiac muscle, the first my eye would look into the intercalated disc. So they are zigzag partition, they are dark and they are present between the adjacent cardiac muscle cell. So they are both transverse and lateral portion. So what they are going to do? They are going to give firm adhesion and they are going to as well as help in spreading the excitation, which is very important for the contraction. So that should be your answer. So very good, children, you gave me the right answer. Yes, I hope you understood this. Yes, cardiac muscle is the answer. Now let's go for the next question. Dash has a hard and a non-pliable ground substance rich in calcium salt and collagen fibers. White fibrous tissue, bone, cartilage and yellow fibrous tissue. So which should be the answer? Yes, I'm just waiting for you to post the answers. So before, as you all post, let me give an introduction to what is what. So when I say cartilage, okay, which is unossified bone, okay, you have a hyaline cartilage, right, that you find it in the larynx, trachea, and apart from that we have what is called the fibrous cartilage. The fibrous cartilage, when you see, you will find it between the two vertebra, the intervertebral disc, and then we have what is called in the pubic symphysis. Yes, yes students, you are giving me the right answer, excellent ma. Then we have the yellow cartilage, okay, that is the yellow elastic cartilage which you find it in the pinna, nose. All that is all what? They are made up of yellow elastic cartilage. Okay, so that is very, very important. Okay, so now we will go to the next important thing, like why did we say bone? See, when I say the white fibrous, okay, the white fibrous, the yellow fibrous and cartilage, they are all the types of cartilage. But bone is what? It is very hard. These are all the unossified bones. Okay, they are not ossified, they are not hard enough, and they are non-pliable ground substance. What you find basically they are the calcium. Okay, we are aware of it, that calcium phosphate, that base that is being formed where? Only in the bone. Okay, so that is the right answer. Yes students, very good, you gave me the right answer. We will move on to the next nice interesting, coming to our cockroach. Okay, the nocturnal creature. which of the following mouth part act as a tongue in cockroach? So cockroach, I see many people, they do have the phobia, okay, particularly for lizards and cockroach. I have seen patients, somewhat disturbing, they'll say about phobia. So here in cockroach, you are going to see tongue is there. So if at all, if a tongue is there, whether it is labium, hypopharynx, maxillae, labrum, what should be your answer? Yes students, very good. I could see you all giving the answer. Excellent ma. Let me explain. See, when you look into the mouth parts of the cockroach, yes, the labrum, okay, it is called the upper lip, okay, the labrum. See, the mouth of the cockroach is specifically designed for biting as well as chewing, okay, so that is where. So it consists of what we call the labrum, which is the upper lip. Acha. So that will be made of that pair of maxillae, okay, that will be helping in positioning the food. The lower lip, we call that as the labium, okay, and then we have what is called the hypopharynx, okay. This hypopharynx is actually the tongue. So the efferent salivary duct, what you are seeing here, will carry the saliva from the salivary gland, and that will open into that near base of the hypopharynx. So what you are seeing here, okay, so that is where you should remember. So the labium is the lower lip, and what about the upper lip? The labrum. So the hypopharynx is the tongue, okay, which is meant for the mouth part, that is going to act like a tongue in the cockroach. So that is very important. So the next important, yes, very good. I could see you all answering. Manjula, Shreya, Jivita, Lakshmanan, Rohan. Yes, everybody, very good students. You are all very interactive, energetic today. Very nice to see you all in that form. If a fiber contracts faster, it must have high content of myoglobin, large number of mitochondria, high amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum, and low number of sarcoplasmic reticulum. So what should be your answer, children, for this? So for giving this answer, I would like to explain certain concepts in it before me going into the next slide. Yes, I think the children started giving me the answers. Yes, what's the answer? Yes, very good. Many people are giving me the answer. Yes, very good. I could see you all giving the answer. See, everybody, immediately you people will choose this option, but that is not the case. It is the high amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum. Why, ma'am, is this the answer? Now, you take a skeletal muscle fiber, okay, you are taking a skeletal muscle fiber. The outer layer of a skeletal muscle fiber is called the sarcolemma, same like your cell membrane, okay. Now the sarcolemma will make an invagination like this, okay, what we call this as the T-tubule, okay, and then we will have a two tubules like this lying on each side of the T-tubule, which we call it as the L-tubule. The dilated portions are called the cisternae. So this entire portion, the ends of the L-tubule and the T. Why it is T? It is transverse. When I say L, it is longitudinal, very simple. And it is going to be called as the triad. So what is the role here? They are going to store the calcium. So when I say sarcoplasmic reticulum, it is a modified endoplasmic reticulum that is present in the skeletal muscle. So as the skeletal muscle, the main is required apart from the ATP is the calcium ion. So who is going to supply the calcium, which is the main source? It is your sarcoplasmic reticulum. So if a cell has got that high amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum, then this should be your right answer. I hope children you are able to know why is this chosen. I hope you given me the thing. Yes, ma'am, ATP is needed. The mitochondria, yes, only when after this calcium going and binding with the troponin C, okay, then only there is sliding, all that is going to take place, right? Yes or no? And only when that sliding only there that energy is needed. But what is the basic that you need for it to make it so faster? It is the calcium. Yes. So the contraction that faster is with your calcium and the ATP. If they have asked two factors, then your ATP will come. The must is the calcium. So that should be your answer. Okay, children? Okay. Now muscles of intestine and blood vessels are involuntary and smooth, voluntary and smooth, involuntary and striated, voluntary and striated. So what should be your answer? Yes, children, I could see you all giving nice interactive, very good. Yes, please do post answers. What is this answer? Yes, what is this answer? Yes, students, very good. You are giving me the right answer. Yes, excellent. What should be the answer? Yes, Jivita, Akshaya, Rohan, Manjula, Lakshmanan. Please do post the answer. So what should be the answer for this? The muscles of intestine and blood vessels, a very basic question. Yes, excellent. You are right. Akshaya, very good. Yes, you are right. Yes, the answer is involuntary and smooth. So why do we say they are involuntary and smooth? See, whenever we take an intestinal tube, okay, when we take an intestinal tube or you are taking a blood vessel wall, okay, you are taking a blood vessel wall. So they are all lined by the smooth muscle. Whenever it is lined by the smooth muscle, they are going to be involuntary, which is not totally under your control. So voluntary and smooth, no. Involuntary striated, no. Voluntary striated, no. That means it will be with the skeletal muscle. Okay. So if it is involuntary and striated, it is your cardiac muscle. Okay. So that will not fit into it. So what should be your answer? It is involuntary and smooth. Why they are involuntary? Because they are supplied by autonomic nervous system. So what is autonomic nervous system? Comprises of the sympathetic and we have the parasympathetic. So they are totally not under our control. Okay, so they have their own set of control, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So the muscles of intestine and blood vessels, they are involuntary. You cannot say the intestine move faster or go slow down. You cannot dictate rules to it. And they are made up of smooth muscle. So that concept you should all know. So very good students, you gave the right answer. Now in a frog, a triangular structure called sinus venosus puts blood into left auricle, ventricle, right auricle, lymph nodes. So what should be your answer? So what should be your answer? Yes, very good children, you are somehow coming up. Yes, I could see you all posting the answer. So when I say sinus venosus, so what should be your answer there? Yes, yes, very good. Yes, many people started giving the answer. Yes, excellent. Yes, the answer is what? So in frog, the sinus venosus, what you are seeing here, no, this tubular structure, it is actually a pacemaker. It's a triangular structure. It is something similar like how that vena cava is opening into our right atrium. So it is going to pour the blood into the right auricle. So it is going to receive the blood by the vena cava. Okay, so that is the major vein there. Okay, so in frog, the triangular structure, the sinus venosus, is going to pour where? Into the right auricle. So that should be your answer. Okay, children? Yes, very good. Which is not true about frog? Salivary glands are absent. Maxillary teeth are arranged along the margin of upper jaw and lower jaw is toothless. Muscular tongue is bilobed at the tip and free from behind. Tadpole larva of frog as a short alimentary. So what should be the answer here? We are again read the statement. It is not true. It's not true about frog. So what should be your answer? Yes, children? Yes. So here let me see. Salivary glands are absent. Yes, that is something a true statement here. What about the maxillary teeth? Yes, in frogs, when you look into that, they will have only the maxillary teeth. That is the teeth that is present in the upper jaw. They don't have the lower jaw tooth. And they will have what is the wormerine tooth also. Okay. and when you take their shape of the teeth and all, no, they will be more or less similar. So we can call them as homodont also. Okay, and then many times this teeth will fall, like it's not like for us. Okay, we have only two set of teeth. One we have the milk teeth and then we have the permanent, so we are diphodont. Here they many times they have, so we call them as polyfifodont. Okay, and then for us the tooth will be actually attached with that with a socket, right? Here it will be not like that, so we call that as acrodont. Okay, so many things are there. So this is a true and a right statement. And what about the muscular tongue? Children, please understand, when you look into the tongue of the frog, okay, the back portion actually it will be like free. The front only will be fixed, so that it can use it like a flip. Okay, and then it will go very faster rate. That is why they say that the striker rate is very faster. That's why it's so, it can catch that insect and it can take it back. So that is why the muscular tongue is bilobed at the tip and it will be free from behind, that concept. So that is also right. And what about the tadpole larva of frog as a short alimentary? No, the answer is wrong, because only the adult frog will have short, even in that the esophagus will be short because it doesn't have a neck, right? So they say it will have a short esophagus. So this statement is not true. So what is your answer? Yes, students, you have given the right answer. Akshaya, Shreya, Jivita and all that. Very good. The tadpole larva of frog, it has got the short alimentary. We'll go to the next question. In frog, food is captured by trilobed tongue, bilobed tongue, tentacles and limbs. How does the frog capture its own food? Yes, it's a very direct question. Yes. Yes, I wanted here everybody to participate. Srivatsav, Manjula, Rohan, Akshaya, Jivita. So please post your answers. Very good. Everybody are giving the answer. Excellent. Yes, the answer is bilobed tongue. If you would have understood, see here, you can see here the tongue. Okay, so it will just like that flip to such a high striker rate. It can just pick up that insect, whatever, and it can swallow. So that is the bilobed tongue is the answer. Excellent, students. Here coming to this question, that is, they have given here what you see here. Actually, the picture given below is the figure of open circulatory system of cockroach. We are aware that the arthropoda group have the open. Identify A, B, C and choose the correct option. So you are going to choose the correct option. So what is A, B and C? So please start posting the answers. So we all know that heart, as you say, the what you call the circulatory system. So the heart which is mid dorsally, which is below the terga, we have three sinuses. Okay, it is in the pericardial sinus. Okay, so it will have nearly around some 13 contractile chambers. Yes, and the first chamber, yes, everybody. Yes, very good. People are posting with the answers. Very good, Rohan. So we have 13 contractile chambers. The first chamber will be single narrow tubular structures. Okay, tubular heart, which we call the anterior aorta. So your answer is right. The A is nothing but the anterior aorta. Okay, so that will pump to the head sinuses. Okay, then laterally we will have openings what are called ostia. Okay, they will be guarded by valves where the blood will be pumped. Okay, the blood will be pushing from the heart. Okay, so that it will move from one chamber to the other. And what about the alary muscles? The alary muscles are 12 pairs of alary muscles. Okay, and these alary muscles, like they'll be like fan shape with 12 pairs. What you see here, the B, what you are seeing here. Okay, the main role is it is pushing the blood, okay, from the heart to the spaces also. And what you are seeing are the chambers of the heart. So excellent, students, you have given the right answer. The part of the frog's brain which is continuous with the spinal cord is cerebellum, medulla oblongata, midbrain and dienencephalon. So what should be your answer? Yes, students, it's very simple. So what is the continuation? So which is the continuation part is spinal cord? The brain. So the answer should be yes. Yes, it's a very direct question, children. So you have what is the forebrain, then they have the midbrain, and then you have the hindbrain. So in this hindbrain, as you see the medulla, the cerebellum, the medulla is the one, okay, which is going to continue down. See, in the forebrain, you are seeing what you are seeing. You are seeing the olfactory lobe, right? You will see the cerebral hemisphere, and then we will have what is called the dienencephalon. In the midbrain, we will have the optic lobes, okay. In the hindbrain, we will have, so this is the midbrain, acha. And what is this part? It is the forebrain. And what is this part? It is your hindbrain. So what the medulla? So you can see the medulla oblongata is the one which is going to continue down as the spinal cord. So very good, student. The medulla oblongata is the one which is going to be continuous as the spinal cord. Okay. Which of the following is false about the nervous system of frog? The forebrain includes paired olfactory lobes, paired cerebral hemispheres and paired dienencephalon. Midbrain comprises of paired optic lobes. Hindbrain comprises of cerebellum and medulla oblongata. There are 9 pairs of spinal nerves. So among these statements, one is false. Please find out which is the false one. So which is the false one, ma? Yes? Which one is false here? Yes? I could see you all giving the answers. Excellent, student. Which one is false here? So if you would have understood that previous slide, I told you what is forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. I gave a clue. If you would have seen that, this is very easy. Which is false? Children, again I am telling you which is false. Okay, please note down. So now I will give you the answer. See, there are 9 pairs of spinal nerve is right. They say there may be a 10th unpaired nerve might be present. Okay, so 9 pair of spinal nerve and 10 pairs of cranial nerves is there. So right statement. Hindbrain comprises of cerebellum and medulla oblongata. That is true. What about the midbrain? We have the optic lobes which is paired, and then we have what is the cruca cerebri. So that is also present there. What about the forebrain? The forebrain has got paired olfactory lobe. Yes. It has got paired cerebral hemisphere. Yes. But the dienencephalon is not paired. Okay. So that is the wrong one. So what should be your answer? Forebrain includes not paired. It is unpaired. So that is the answer. What is dienencephalon? It is a part which will consist the thalamus and the hypothalamus, epithalamus, subthalamus. So that should be your answer. Okay, students, we will move to the next one. Frogs' eyes are protected underwater by the presence of retina, upper eyelid, nictating membrane, lower eyelid. So frog eye has got a membrane. I hope you will know this answer. So please chat immediately. Yes, what should be your answer, children? Yes, very good, Rohan, Lakshman, Shreya, Jeevita and all. Very good. This answer is a direct question. Everybody will know. Okay, because frog is something, okay, it is going to be in water as well as in the land also. So, I just want this answer. Like, how are we going to explain this? Yes, right. Jeevita, Rohan, good. You are giving the right answer. Yes. See, what you are seeing is a membrane which is the nictating membrane. Excellent, student. See, nictating membrane is actually a movable semi-transparent membrane. Okay, that will be drawn on the eye. Okay. Now, actually, what happens if the animal is inside the water? What happens? It is more prone to develop that aquatic infections or that water might enter in. So, since this nictating membrane is there, it can see through what is happening. But once when it comes to the land, it will get retracted. So, that is where, and this nictating membrane is getting lubricated. That is, nictating membrane and eyeball, they will be lubricated by one set of glands, what is called the Harderian glands. So, they are the one which is going to help in lubricating the membrane. Okay, so that is the role of, yes, very good, Rohan, it is a waterproof membrane. That is what I am telling, because as they go into the water, they are more prone to develop what you call infections or the water can enter. So, to avoid that, like a shield, it will be there. So very good, right answer. So next question, which of the following is a correct pairing of body part and the kind of muscle tissue that it involves? Iris, involuntary smooth muscle; heart, involuntary unstriated muscle; biceps of upper arm, smooth muscle; abdominal wall, smooth muscle. So which is the correct pairing, ma? Which is the correct pairing, children? Yes? Yes, the answer is, you are right. So the iris is what? It is the involuntary smooth muscle. Okay. What about the heart? It is involuntary, but they are striated. Then only we can call that as the cardiac muscle. What about the biceps? It is made up of skeletal muscle, right? And what about the abdominal wall? The muscles in the abdominal wall, they are skeletal muscles, right? That's why they are able to keep six pack and all, right? They are exercise skeletal muscles, right? So that should be, so what is the right answer? The iris, which is present in your eye, okay, that is going to regulate the pupil constriction, that iris is there, right? So it is an involuntary smooth muscle, okay. So that should be your answer, children. So the answer is what? Iris, involuntary smooth muscle, okay, because the muscles in the abdominal wall, we are not talking about the inner abdomen, the abdominal cavity which is inside having the organs. I am asking about the abdominal wall, which has got a set of muscle called the muscles, what we say, external oblique muscles. They are not needed, but I am just naming them. Okay, rectus abdominis, they are keeping six pack and all. No, what muscles are there? Transverse abdominis, rectus abdominis, these muscles, all these are all the muscles of the abdominal wall. Okay, very good, children. Next you look into this. So they have given a certain type of connective tissue, which is areolar connective tissue. Identify the parts A, B, C, D, and you are going to select the option. So what is A, B, C and D? I hope if you would have known the slide which we have dealt earlier, this is an easy answer for your children. So I am just putting the answer. So what is A? It is the macrophage. B is what? The fibroblast is. We saw from where the extracellular matrix is being secreted. Okay. And then we saw even the adipose sites, those cells are coming up. Then we have what is C, the collagen fibers, okay, one of the ground substance. And then we have the mast cells, the D. So these are the parts that we are seeing here, okay. Yes, very good, Shreya, very good. So which one of the following human organs is often called the graveyard of RBC? Gallbladder, kidney, spleen and liver. So which is called the graveyard of RBC? Yes, very good. Rohan, Akshaya, Jeevita, Lakshmanan, very good. You have given the right answer. So which is called the graveyard of RBC? The graveyard of RBC is nothing but the spleen, okay, because the spleen, what happens, this worn out and damaged cells, they get just like that captured there, because we have what are called the fixed macrophages at certain points, okay, what they are called as the reticulo endothelial system, okay. So what happens in spleen and in the liver, we call that as the Kupffer cells, okay, okay, like that everywhere we have these fixed which are called the reticulo endothelial system. So here in the spleen, when such cells, they will be like filtering, okay, there will be like a screening process. Once when they come to see those worn out or damaged red blood cells, they are just like that, they are be phagocytized. So that is what is happening. So spleen is called the graveyard of RBC. Excellent, students, you have given the right answer. Yes. Nissl granules are made up of DNA and proteins, ribosomes and RNA, ribosomes and DNA, RNA, DNA and proteins. So what should be your answer? So Nissl granules, so when you take a structure of a neuron, okay, okay, so there are portions where you don't find these granules, okay, yes, so these are called the Nissl substances. So these Nissl substances, they are made up of what? So that is the question here. Yes, yes, I think Rohan has given the right answer. Yes, very good. Yes, very good, children, you are giving me the right answer. But there is one small change that you should know. Yes, the answer. See, these are the nissel granule substances, but they will be not found in this particular portion which is devoid of the nissel granules, which we call it as axon hillock. Okay. So, this nissel granules, they are actually made up of ribosomes and DNA. Another important concept what you people should know here is, okay, that during any injury, the nissel granules can be disappeared, and that we call it as chromatolysis. If there is any injury to a neuron, the first one to disappear will be the nissel granules. That is called chromatolysis. So, very good children. The next one is, which of the following statement is correct for the node of Ranvier? Please post the answer. Neurolemma is discontinuous. Myelin sheath is discontinuous. Both neurolemma and myelin sheath are discontinuous and then covered by myelin sheath. So, what should be the nearest answer? Please post the answer, children. Yes, what is the answer? Yes, students, please post the answer. I am waiting for your answer. Excellent. So, what is that node of Ranvier? What is node of Ranvier, children? Yes, node of Ranvier. See, when you take the entire neuron, okay. So, what we have a long process that is called the axon, a short process that is called the dendrites. The long process of axon will be covered by one insulating material that is called the myelin sheath. Okay. This myelin sheath at regular intervals they will be interrupted, and those portions are called the node of Ranvier. The purpose of the node of Ranvier is for the faster conduction of the nerve impulse. Okay. That is why it is called okay. So, excellent students, you have given the right answer. The myelin sheath is discontinuous. So, it is a very lipid rich sheath. Okay, that is called the myelin sheath, which will be wrapping around the entire of the axon. It is not a continuous sheath, it is a discontinuous sheath, and at regular intervals you have the interruption what is called the node of Ranvier. So that the action potential or the nerve impulse which is starting from the initial segment of the nerve, it can jump from one node to the another node. So it will be faster, and at the same time we call that as the saltatory conduction. So it is called the saltatory conduction. I saltaire means I jump, it is the meaning. Okay, so that is the importance of this. So that is called the saltatory conduction. Very good, Tajuddin, Shreya, Jeevita, excellent ma, you are giving the right answer. In cockroach, eye consists of visual units called ostia, omatida, gonophysis, spiracles. What should be your answer? Yes, what should be your answer, ma? In cockroach, the eye consists of visual units called ostia, omatidia, gonophysis and spiracles. See, first we will talk about ostia. So, what is this ostia? We saw in the heart, okay, those openings which are there on laterally, that is meant for flowing the blood, right? There is flow of blood that passes through the chambers and all. What about the gonophysis? That is something concerned with your reproductive, the external genitalia. What about spiracles? The spiracles, that is meant with the respiration. So, the answer would be what? It is none other than the omatidia. Excellent students. So, what happens? The head which is there in the dorsal portion, we have what are called the compound eyes. Okay. So, there the cockroaches actually have what is called the mosaic vision. What is the mosaic type of vision? Like they will have bits of vision where everything will be put up into one. So, here the sensitivity will be high, but the resolution will be very less. So, you see many like photoreceptor like cells, what are they are called as omatidium or omatidia. So, this is what. So, the eye consists of those visual units what is called the omatidia. So, that is your right answer. Excellent student. Very good. Now, coming to this question, please identify the head region of the cockroach from A, B, C, D, E and F they have given. So, you have to identify what are the parts there. Okay. So, we will identify. Yes, very good Rohan, the mosaic vision, as I already mentioned, which has got high sensitivity, but the resolution will be very low because they are nocturnal animals. They don't need that what you call the resolution there. Rather, they can have the sensitivity, like any change in the texture or anything with that is what is going to help them rather than being with the resolution. So, that is where with the mosaic vision. Very good. Yes, they are 2000 in number. Excellent, Rohan. You are giving very good information, additive information. They are hexagonal units also. They are hexagonal units with 2000 units. What we called it as the omatidia. Excellent. We will move on to this question. The 25th question. Please do answer, children. I am waiting you all for answer. Yes. So the answer here is, yes, A is called the ocellus, B is the compound eye, C as we saw the mandible portion, and the E is the maxilla, and we have what is called the E, which is the labrum, okay, and then what is the F1? The labium. Okay, so these are the parts, okay, these are the parts of the cockroach, because in cockroach as you all see, okay, yes, I see everybody posting the right answer. Excellent, students, you are all very good. Because in cockroach, as I was giving you some points, in cockroach, one thing that you need to follow up in cockroach is the head. The head is actually directed, the upper part will be directed above, whereas the other part will be directed downwards. Such a type is called hypognathus. So that is characteristic of cockroach. We'll go to the next question. Which of the following is not associated with epithelium? The cells are compactly packed with little intercellular space. It is highly vascularized. It forms covering or lining of external and internal surfaces. It helps in protection, secretion, absorption, respiration, etc. So what should be your answer here, children? So when I say epithelium, it's one of the living tissue. So here in the living tissue, yes, they are all compactly packed, like there will be like a simple one layer packing, or it can be with multi-layer, but they have what is called that spaces. So this is something there. What about the covering? Yes, it is going to cover all your coelom, your internal, external, everything, yes, and particularly protection, secretion, absorption, yes, it is going to do everything. But what is not the answer? That highly vascularized. Epithelial tissue is not highly vascularized. That is why the power of regeneration is quite more in compared with epithelial tissue than any other tissue. So epithelium is not vascularized, but one exception is there. I think if it is too informative, just forget it, or like it's my duty to inform you. One thing we have in the cochlea, what is called the stria vascularis, okay, that is highly vascularized epithelial tissue. Okay, that is one exception. But apart from that, when we say epithelium, they are not vascularized. Okay, so that should be your answer. Excellent, Rohan, Akshaya, Jivita, Lakshmanan, Manjula, everybody giving right answers. Perfect, children, very good. Now here we are coming with two things. Here epithelial cells are given and organs are given. We are going to match it. It is going to be very interesting. Column 1, column 2, squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, ciliated epithelium, lining of intestine, ovary, blood vessels and bronchioles. So you are going to match. So let us see the answer. Yes, students, very good. Yes, please do match these answers. Yes, students, you are right. The answer, when I say squamous epithelium, the first one should come what? It should be your blood vessels. What about the cuboidal epithelium? The cuboidal epithelium is found where? It is found in the ovary. What about the columnar epithelium? It is going to line the intestine. It's a glandular epithelium. What about the ciliated epithelium? Lining the bronchioles. So, yes, very good. Everybody has given the right answer. Excellent, ma. Okay. So, you understood like how are we matching? See, squamous we saw in one of the slides, like that is forming the endothelium. Cuboidal epithelium we saw nephron, ovary, retate testis, yes, thyroid vesicles, pancreatic ducts and all. Columnar, intestine and stomach. Okay. What about ciliated? Definitely in bronchioles, the escalator action. So that should be your answer. A lacuna of bone contains dash osteocyte. 1, 2, many and 2 pairs. So what should be your answer? Osteocyte is a bone forming cell. So in a lacuna of a bone, what should be the answer? Yes, children, I am just looking for your answer. Yes, very good. Yes, so you have given the right answer. The answer is what? So when you look into the what we call the Haversian system, that is there. So you see the lacunae, what you are seeing, the lacunae. Here you find only a single osteocyte. Okay, so what should be your answer? It is just 1. So the answer is 1 osteocyte. So the osteocyte is a bone forming. Then you have osteoblast, then you have the precursor, that is osteoblast, and then we have osteoclast, which is the bone resorption cell. Okay. Then we will come to this question with reference to the cockroach, match the following. So here they have given the structures, here they are asking you to match the following: anal cerci, tegmina, testis, ommatidia, exoskeleton. Okay, and the options given here: 4th and 6th segment, 10th segment, 4 wings, sclerites, photoreceptor. So we saw the anal cerci just in the first slide. So I just wanted you to know, like, how are we going to match. We saw anal styles actually there, similar with that anal cerci. Okay, so just how are we going to match it. Okay, so what should be your answer, children? Ommatidia, just now we saw. Ommatidia is what? Yes, with the photoreceptor. What about those exoskeleton? When you look into the body of the cockroach, actually, okay, they will be actually, yes, excellent. You have given the answer. Very good. So when you look into the answer, yes, what is the one with the anal cerci? It is present in the 10th segment, right? Very good. What about the tegmina? The tegmina is the 4 wings that we are watching here. What about the testis? It is in the 4th and 6th segment. Yes, very good. What about the ommatidia? The compound, and under that we have this ommatidia, right? Those photoreceptors, right? And what about the exoskeleton? The body is what? Divided into many sclerites. So that is where. Okay, excellent, children. You have given the right answer. I could see you all giving the right answer. Excellent, ma. Coming to the last phase of it. Which of the following statement about cell junction is false? See, each cell, okay, they have what is called a junction. There are many type of junction. Here one of the statement is false, and we are going to find out that. Okay, let me read through. All the cells of the epithelium are held together with little intercellular materials. In almost all animal tissues, specialized junction provide both structural and functional link between its individual cells. Tight junctions help to stop substances from leaking across a tissue. Adhering junctions provide cementing to keep neighboring cells together. Gap junctions provide cytoplasmic channels between cells for passage of ions, small molecules, and sometimes big molecules. Among these statements, they are saying one is false. Which is that? Waiting for your answers. Yes, students. So let me look into each of the statement. All the cells of the epithelium are held together with, yes, they are held together with what? All the cells, when you take, they will be held together with the intercellular material. Like we have what are called gap junctions, or they can be desmosomes, or they can be like this tight junctions. So this is something true. In almost all things, they are going to provide structural and functional link. Yes, definitely. So this is true. What about the tight junctions that you find in the blood-brain barrier or blood-testis barrier? Yes, you cannot have any substance leaking out. If at all, if they are leaking, probably there could be some infection or some pathology behind. The tight junctions never leak. So this is a true. And what should be the adhering junctions? As adhering junction is cementing the neighboring cell, right? Gap junctions allowing the passage of small molecules and sometimes even big molecules. So all the statement is fine, as Rohan, everybody, Akshaya, Jivita, Lakshmanan has given. The answer is none of these. Everything is true. So with this, I think we are winding up with a session of the chapter, what we are seeing in structural organization in animals. I hope this would have been rather more informative, and I had a very nice interactive session with all the students. All are very good. You have interacted very well today. It's something very nice. I should give a hand of applause. So let me meet you soon in the next set of rapid revision session with another next interesting topics. Thank you, students, for your patience, and it was wonderful and a very nice interactive session. Thank you. So thank you students.